Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will get lost in the pages of Bulfinch's Mythology by Thomas Bulfinch. Bulfinch's Mythology is a famous anthology by Thomas Bulfinch that retells myths from ancient Greece and Rome, stories of King Arthur and his knights, and legends of Charlemagne. Bulfinch's aim was to make mythology enjoyable and understandable for modern readers, particularly those interested in Western literature and history. This text is a collection of his works, starting with the Age of Fable, followed by the Age of Chivalry, and the Legends of Charlemagne. Plot summary. In the beginning, the ancient world was filled with gods who ruled over the earth and skies. From the primordial chaos, a pantheon of deities arose, each with a unique dominion and power. Among them was Jupiter, ruler of the heavens, whose thunderbolts instilled fear across the mortal and immortal realms. He shared power with his brothers Neptune and Pluto, who governed the seas and the underworld, respectively. The earth thrived under the influence of the gods, but it was the actions of Prometheus, the daring titan, that changed the course of humanity forever. Prometheus, filled with compassion for mankind, stole fire from the heavens and gave it to mortals, enabling them to rise from darkness. For this transgression, Jupiter condemned him to eternal torment, binding him to a rock where a vulture feasted upon his liver each day. As the gods watched over the world, the first woman, Pandora, was created as part of Jupiter's plan to punish humanity for Prometheus' defiance. Gifted with beauty and curiosity, Pandora was entrusted with a sealed jar that contained all the sorrows and plagues of existence. Unable to resist, she opened the jar, and misery spilled out, forever altering the fate of humankind. Yet, amidst the ruin, hope remained in the jar, offering solace to the troubled mortals. In the age that followed, the gods continued to shape the destinies of heroes and mortals alike. One such figure was Apollo, the radiant god of the sun, who fell deeply in love with the nymph Daphne. But Daphne, dedicated to a life of chastity, fled from Apollo's pursuit, praying for deliverance. In response, the earth transformed her into a laurel tree, and Apollo, heartbroken, swore to forever honor her by wearing the laurel wreath. Elsewhere, tragic lovers Pyramus and Thisbe met under the veil of night, but misfortune tore them apart. Believing Thisbe had been devoured by a lion, Pyramus took his own life, staining the white mulberries with his blood. Thisbe, discovering her beloved dead, followed him into the embrace of death, and the mulberries were forever tinged with a deep crimson in memory of their love. Amidst these tales of passion and sorrow, other great heroes rose to confront the challenges placed before them by the gods. The story of Perseus, for instance, is one of courage and divine intervention. Armed with gifts from the gods, a shield from Athena, winged sandals from Hermes, and a sword from Hephaestus, Perseus ventured to slay the monstrous Medusa, whose gaze could turn men to stone. With swift precision, Perseus beheaded the Gorgon and used her head as a weapon, defeating many enemies, including a sea serpent that threatened the life of Andromeda, whom he later wed. The mighty Heracles, known for his unparalleled strength, was another hero whose life was marked by the will of the gods. Cursed by Hera, the jealous wife of Jupiter, Heracles was driven mad and committed unspeakable acts, including the murder of his own family. To atone, he undertook 12 seemingly impossible labors, from slaying the Nemean lion to capturing the three-headed dog Cerberus from the underworld. Through his triumphs, Heracles proved his worth and was granted immortality, ascending to Olympus to join the gods. Across the seas in the distant lands of Britain, the legend of King Arthur and his noble knights unfolded. Arthur, the once and future king, was raised in secret until the moment came for him to claim his birthright. Guided by the wise Merlin, he pulled the enchanted sword Excalibur from the stone, a symbol of his divine kingship. Under his rule, the Round Table was formed, uniting the bravest knights in a quest for justice, honor, and the fabled Holy Grail. Among these knights were the valiant Lancelot, whose forbidden love for Queen Guinevere ultimately led to the kingdom's downfall, and Galahad, the purest of them all, who succeeded in the quest for the Grail and was granted a vision of the divine. While Arthur's kingdom prospered for a time, it was not immune to betrayal. Mordred, Arthur's illegitimate son, conspired against him, leading to the final, tragic battle where Arthur was mortally wounded. As he lay dying, Arthur instructed that Excalibur be returned to the Lady of the Lake, and with his final breath, He was borne away to Avalon, where it was said he would one day return to restore his kingdom. In the realm of medieval Europe, the reign of Charlemagne gave rise to a new era of chivalry and conquest. Charlemagne, the great emperor, sought to unite the fractured lands under Christianity, his campaigns stretching far and wide. His 12 peers, led by the fearless Roland, defended his empire from invaders, particularly during the Battle of Roncesvalles. Betrayed by Gainlan, a treacherous knight, Roland fought valiantly but was ultimately overwhelmed. As he lay dying, he blew his legendary horn, Oliphant, summoning Charlemagne to avenge his death and carry on his legacy. Through the centuries, myth and legend intertwined, shaping the fabric of Europe's cultural heritage. The gods of old faded from memory, replaced by the rise of new faiths, but their stories endured, carried in the hearts and minds of those who sought meaning in the mysteries of the world. Heroes like Perseus, Heracles, and Arthur became immortal through their deeds. While the gods themselves watched from the heavens, their influence felt in every corner of the earth. Whether through love, tragedy, or triumph, the tales of gods and mortals alike continue to resonate, reminding all who hear them of the timeless power of myth. That's a wrap, but the journey doesn't end. Explore more books by Thomas Bulfinch. You'll find the details in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Thomas Bulfinch's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.